Hello everyone, my name is Edgar and today I will be presenting my research topic which is type quality, empowering designer, which an inclusive toolkit for a LGBTQI plus representation. Through this project, I've developed a practical toolkit to guide a designer in making more inclusive typographic decisions. So today we go through four main parts of the content: research topic, research project, which includes the background and context research, significant research question, research aim, and methodology. Secondly, will be a studio practice section where you can understand what the process of the outcome is. Thirdly, we will talk about the design outcome, which include the final outcome and user feedback. And finally, will be about the future potential and critical reflection for this research project. So, as a member of the LGBTQI plus community and the graphic designers, I've personally witnessed the impact that designers have on the presentation of marginalized group. And you know what? There's still 61% of the LGBTQI plus young people in Australia reported feeling uncomfortable at school owing their sexual orientation or gender identity. So this results in the heightened level of the sadness and anxiety. Not only at school, there's over 20% of LGBTQI plus Australians has experienced discrimination in medical facilities as well. However, sadly, just only 15% design firms actively integrate equitable principle into their operation. So that's why for me, typography isn't just visual tool, it's shaped on how we perceive identity and communicate social values. The projects explore the typography roles in promoting inclusivity, marginalized the communities, especially LGBTQI plus individuals. So my research question for this project is how can visual communication designer be educated to make an informed typographic choice that promotes inclusivity for the LGBTQI plus individual, fostering inclusivity and representation. So our aims for this research will be analyze how typography impacts identity and inclusivity through a detailed literature review, explore key challenge in the typographic design for marginalized community and opportunity for improvement, create the toolkit to guide a designers in making inclusive typographic choice, evaluated the toolkit's effectiveness through the user testing, incorporating feedback for the practical use, and finally is the promoting ethical design practice by educating designers on apply inclusive design in a real world scenario. The first methodologies that I've employed in this project is a practice-based research. So it aims at developing a practical solution in the form of the toolkit. Prototyping was a core component of this approach, involving iterative design and the testing phases. Prototype of the toolkit were developed with the initial focus on the functionality and user accessibility as well. Then testing phase involved 3 experienced designer and 5 emerging designer. All of them provided the critical feedback on the toolkit usability. So, and to explore how the typography foster inclusivity, I also employed case studies as a primary research method. This approach allowed me to investigate the real-world application of the typography within the social movements that have historically emphasized inclusivity and activism. There are 3 case studies that I have analyzed: the Black Lives Matter movement, the LGBTQI plus pride movement, Silence Equal Death campaign, and this case study provided critical insight into how typography functions not just appearance but as a semiotic tool for the conveying message of the inclusivity, resistance, and social identity. To deepen my analysis, I used thematic analysis as well. This method allowed me to systematically encode and categorize the key themes that emerge from the case study, which are feasibility, resistance, representation. So, at the start of the creating phase, my initial idea was about the web-based platform for the final outcome. But after I sit down with my group of friends and we have a bit of a chatting about this idea in the coffee shop, and then they recommend me go another way for this idea because nowadays it's the digital tool, everyone using the technology, and they gradually forget the physical, tangible things in the mind. So if I want to go outstanding out there, I need to go a different way for this idea. So I decided to create something tangible and playful. I also use the 6P framework and creating my map to make my brand, brainstorming activities and go on tracks. And then that's why the type quality toolkit was born. So before diving into the toolkit, I tried to make the branding first. All of the idea for the research is surrounding with the LGBTQI+, so I decided to make my brand align with the LGBTQI+ identity as much as possible. So I began carefully selecting a color palette that would resonate the LGBTQI+ community. The color were drawn from the pride flag, symbolizing diversity. And in terms of the typography, I selected font that emphasizes the clarity, which is neutral, modern, and easy to read. Finally, the logo, that I create 3 versions of it. The symbol logo, the geometric logo, and the typography logo. The symbol logo was the first iteration and true inspiration from the flowers petal that represent the LGBTQI+ community. The geometric logo evolved from the original shape, the rectangular, triangular, and circular as well. The final iteration is the typography logo, which places the focus entirely on the power of the typography itself. So I used the original form of shape, rectangular, triangular, to create the elements for the brand because I believe the use of original forms engage the psychological component of the design. The toolkit was the main focus. It consists of 32 cards that are divided into 4 categories. So the introduction card provides foundational knowledge. The instruction cards offer mostly theory, clear guidance on applying inclusivity principles in the real-world design. The interaction card engaged user in hands-on the activities that challenge them to reflect on how their design choice impacted diverse audience. Finally, the checklist and reminder cards part provide a quick practical tips for designer to review before finalizing their work. So another focus for the toolkit would be the packaging, which need to be attractive, aligned with the objective of the research and branding. I start to create 3 variations of the packaging boxes intentionally for user testing phase, which are pull box, tuck-in box, flip-top box, and these boxes have their own aesthetic and functional that I considering choosing. And then you can scan a QR code to have more information about the card content and 3 variation of the box here. So for the user testing phase was conducted with the 3 experienced designer and 3 young designer to evaluate the toolkit effectiveness in promoting inclusive design. So the testing covered the brand identity, the packaging option, the card content as well. So the first result would be on the logo. The simple logo was preferred for its usable across media, and professional designers value its clarity and timelessness. The younger designer appreciate but potential, but such as the deeper LGBTQI plus representation. So for the flip top box which is the most favor is because it's premium feel and ease of use. For the card content, the instructional card praise for the detailed explanation, but feedback suggests simplified text for the younger designer. The interactive card, both groups found the interactive card engaging. So this feedback led to the key improvement, ensuring the toolkit not only inclusive but also the practical, adaptable, and effective for the broad range of designer. So please scan the QR code and get more information for that. Thank you. So for the final design solution, I choose 3 of the logo, and then I fix a little bit of the typography logo, and still with the same color palette, and still with the same of the typography. So, and then for the packaging design and then the toolkit card, you can scan the QR code, and then you can have a look more into there. So at the beginning of this project, my vision was to create a web-based platform, but as the project evolved, I transitioned to designing a tangible toolkit. The shift felt more intuitive, offering greater flexibility and creativity, and the change allowed me to surpass my original expectation, creating more engaging and personal products. The the development process was smooth, and the move of the physical toolkit brought the sense of the satisfaction, make the project feel more impactful and meaningful. One of the hardest part of the developing toolkit was writing the card content. I often wonder if the content was detailed enough, or if it unintentionally rely on a stereotype, possibly leaving someone out. It was tricky to balance, but I managed through the carefully research, especially the literature reviews research. Looking back, I'm happy with how the toolkit turns out, and it reflects both on my original photo and new insight gained through the process. Some feedback, especially about the branding, was unexpected. What works for me didn't always match with other views, so showing me the importance staying flexible and listen to different opinions, especially in the inclusive design. Looking forward, I believe this toolkit will serve as a valuable resource for designers working on the LGBTQI+ project or events in the future. There's potential to expand it for all the marginalized community and to explore digital adaptation for cross-cultural usability and interaction. As an LGBTQI+ individually, um, this project holds special significance for me. I approach it with passion and determination, aiming to create something that not only support designer but also raise the awareness of the LGBTQI plus inclusivity. I hope this toolkit will inspire both designer and broader public to see design as a powerful tool for the social change. And thank you for listening.